There's a lot going on in the world right now. Political unrest, social unrest, and violence erupting in our cities. I want to talk about something that I believe every organization needs to have, and that's a solid, proactive crisis communication plan. Hi, I'm Grace. I'm a former TV journalist and also a former local government spokesperson, and I'm the founder of Good News Grace Public Relations, a PR consultancy that helps mission-driven organizations show up with clarity in really high-stakes moments. I think a common misconception about crisis communication is it's planning for a crisis that could happen within your organization. People sometimes miss the opportunities and the need to have crisis communication planning for times when you are adjacent to the crisis. For example, everything that's going on with ICE right now. You could be an organization whose client base is primarily immigrants, but you aren't working directly within the cause. But your clients, your stakeholders, your audiences care very much about what's going on. Local news stations will always want to localize and personalize a big national or global issue. It is still critical to have a very solid crisis plan to include what would happen if something happens within your organization, as well as how can you position yourself to be an expert spokesperson that the media goes to in these moments when they need to talk to someone about an issue that everyone is talking about. Running an organization, any type of organization, without a solid mapped out crisis communication plan is basically like running a school without a fire evacuation plan. It doesn't need to be complicated, but it does need to be in place. You need to know what you're going to say in high stakes moments, what audiences you're talking to. Equally as important as knowing who's going to talk is who's not going to talk. So that's where I come in. I have a 360-degree bird's eye view of communication strategy because I've been on both sides of the newsroom. I've been the one finding the stories, and I've also been on the other side of that media release as a local government spokesperson. So things I can help with are building out those proactive, strategic crisis communication plans, message mapping, identifying audiences and stakeholders, spokesperson training. I step in with more than a decade of experience in this world and help you strategically execute your message in a high-stakes moment so that you don't freeze and you don't fumble. It's not a nice to have. It's an urgent need every organization needs to have covered, especially in the type of political and social climate that we're in right now. So if you're realizing that, yeah, maybe my organization is not fully prepared for this, or you're feeling inspired to step into the moment, make your voice heard, and take a stance on the things that you believe in, let's talk. I have space for 3 crisis communications clients this month. So if you're feeling that intuitive nudge of the urgency of this moment, I would encourage you not to ignore it and instead DM me and we can schedule a strategy call and we can figure out where the gaps are for your organization and how we can make sure that you have a full crisis communication plan ready to go for whatever comes next.